Now, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of a gaming podcast. My name is Marcel MD14. I forgot my name. It's been a very long week. I can't speak still. I think I'm still recovering from that 24-hour trip and everything. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. Welcome to episode 8. I'm joined by Caboose. Caboose, how's it going, Caboose? What's up? What are you doing?
It's going good.
It's a nice shirt you got there. What's going on there?
Yeah. Thank you.
Kind of symbiote. Meaningful?
Oh,
maybe?
Let me just. I'm good. I mean, I guess we're allowed to say we've got Spider-Man.
Let's go.
Thanks to PlayStation Canada, and that's pretty much all we can say. You'll hear thoughts on October 16th. So
we'll talk about some of the features that they announced today.
We'll talk about
that. Yeah.
Stuff.
Wait, they announced some features today?
That we're not under an embargo to talk about. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sammy, all right, come on, Sammy. Where are you in Assassin's Creed?
Okay, I'm almost done.
We know, but they have to know.
Yeah. So I'm 93% done, and I just have a need to finish Valhalla before I jump in Mirage fully. Obviously, I've played some of the missions already, but I just had to stop, go back because I need to get to the end.
Right.
I need to know how it ends before we go back to the beginning of Baslam's story.
There you go. You're so close. You're so close.
Mm-hmm.
Steve V, what's up, dude? I think I saw you this week, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Just in a totally different city.
Exactly.
Like you, I am very tired this week. Like that Tuesday felt like a Friday.
Yep.
My days are all just messed up at this point. I don't even know where I am right now.
and it's a long weekend too. Where it's Thanksgiving this weekend.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I completely forgot as well. And then Steve Saylor, dude, I feel like you when did you leave? When did you come back?
I was gone I left last Wednesday, came back on Saturday.
Okay.
I was gonna go join you guys in on your trip, but I had so much to do. I had like a Forza review I had to finish. I had a Assassin's Creed Mirage review I had to finish. So I just had like zero time, and it seems like I missed out on a fun time. But yeah, so I'm back now, and those reviews are done. I can focus on Spider-Man now, and it's great.
Well, you're not done yet because we're gonna be talking about Forza Motorsport right now, actually. And
okay.
For me, you're not done. You thought you got away.
You're not done.
You're right back in.
I'm not having to write a script for this or record it and then edit it and then post it. So I'm good. This is easy street. I can just talk. Wow, what a concept.
Well, you know what? You gave it an amazing 5 out of 5 for accessibility features. Now,
I did.
I know mainly you were focusing on that, but how did you also enjoy the game as well, and then go in with the accessibility part as well?
I mean, here's the thing is with me and racing games, they usually don't match, and I don't usually do well, so I kind of don't really stick around for a lot of racing games. I think that the only game that I ever wanted to keep playing was Gran Turismo 3 back on the PS2, and that one was only because I fell in love with a Viper car, and basically I kept driving that around to She Sells Sanctuary. But it was the only one I was like, that's my chill time. So basically, with this, actually, I really like the direction that Forza is going. I think that the dropping of the number instead of Forza Motorsport 8, they're definitely just dropping the number altogether. I think that that's a sign of things to come, in that this is going to be a games as a service. They are going to be Turn 10 will be turning this into a basically they're going to be constantly updating with new cars, new tracks, new modes, and I think actually that's for the better, to be honest. Normally I have games as a service I'm kind of not necessarily a huge fan of. I think the only one that I actually enjoy playing is Destiny.
But it works for Forza.
It works for Forza. Yeah. I think because you can be able to pick a car, you can kind of modify it to how it works best for you, and then you can also you can upgrade that as you go. It's kind of like almost like an RPG mechanic for your car. And
it doesn't sound as invasive as you normally would expect when you hear a game is a games as a service. You know?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it seems like they're going to add a lot more fun to it. I will admit. So I'll say this publicly. I still want to be able to do the 24-hour Le Mans. Actually do the 24-hour Le Mans. That's a goal of mine. I will attempt to do it on using blind drive assist. But
how many laps is that? 350 for that one?
No, you just go for 240 hours or 24 hours.
240 hours.
No, it's literally, there is no counting of laps. I think it's literally a 24-hour race.
I think standard it is 350. I was talking to some people
I guess maybe
it was like enthusiasts about this. But if you want to go beyond that, you could actually do that race in 1,000 laps. Which is 1,000 is the limit.
Interesting. Well, I do know that in Forza you can set. Yeah, you can set the time limit. You can set to 24 hours instead of laps. Okay. And I tested it out just to see what it was like on the Le Mans, and it was they chose a random rainy night at midnight, and I was on the 1964 Ford Shelby, the one that's famously from the Ford versus Ferrari movie. And I'm telling you, when you're driving down that 1-2 kilometer straight, the rain is hitting it. It looks like you're going into hyperspace in Star Wars. It's that the rain is going sideways. It's great, and you're going 300 miles an hour, and it's just it's scary but awesome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. For me, I'm not really the biggest racing enthusiast. I'm not in depth. I like Horizon. I like other racing games as well. Mario Kart, whatever you want to add in there and everything. Sure. But your Project Cars, your Gran Turismo, and then your Forza Motorsport, I wasn't too heavily into that because I feel like at times they just throw all this information at you. They're okay, you have this tire weigh this much. If it's a hot day, I find this game is just easily walk you in. Just teaches you it's a great learning curve with this game. And I never had so much fun being if I put less gas in, that means, yes, I can only go for so many laps, but then that means I'm lighter and I could go faster. Yeah. There's so much different mechanics. And for me, after experiencing this is probably the best racing game I've ever played in my life. Hands down. Yeah. This is my game of the year for racing games. This one wins. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for the crew and everything, but this one, hands, the crew is fun as well. I had a lot of blast with the crew. Not to say it's a bad game or that's another, even that one is having a good time with this one, but this one right here, I get why the racing enthusiasts love this. I could do this and do that and type of vibes of things.
It's two different audiences, really. I mean, it's you play Forza if you want the simulation racing experience, mm-hmm. and then if you can jump into Crew Motorfest if you want kind of just a fun arcadey, you're literally at one point
and everything,
planes and boats, and at one point you're driving in a Hot Wheels kind of loop. So obviously you can't do that in real life, but I mean, hey, I think it's for two completely different audiences, but they're definitely good in and of itself for sure.
Yeah, even with the graphics and the whole weather dynamic, at one point it was just lightly raining, and then you can actually change the time to be actual 1-per-1 time. So if you want to do the whole 24 hours, you could do that. But if you want the daytime to change, you can also add 2 times or 4 times as well. But at one point the weather just completely changed, and it changed the whole outcome of the race. People were driving more aggressive, but then they had to be more careful midway through the race because the rain came out heavier, more windy and everything. And I was like, wow, this is real life. This is so cool. I was blown
and then you have to decide on do I switch out to do softer tires to make it a little bit more grippier,
go to a pit stop and everything and do that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a really great game, and like I said, the whole learning curve. I was like, okay, I understand what they're doing here and why people enjoy these style of games, and hands 10 out of 10. They did for me. It's a really good game. So Steve, I know.
I also didn't realize. Right? I also didn't realize that Netflix's F1 Drive to Survive prepared me for playing Forza, because I was like, I understand all these references.
That's all of my knowledge of car stuff. It's just that documentary.
Box. Okay, that means go in the pit. Okay, I get that. That's good.
Stevie, you played it too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've put in probably about 15 hours or so into it, and just like you guys, I'm really high on this game. I'm enjoying it. Usually, whenever a motorsport game comes out, I love just jumping in, trying it out. Depending on its depth, I might spend a week in there or 2 weeks or maybe even a month, depending on the title. But this one, I can definitely see myself spending a lot more time in, just because of how much it does to kind of like tailor your experience. If you want like a higher difficulty curve, you can do that. If you want a lower one, you can do that as well, without it really impacting the fun, if that makes sense. In previous games, like if you wanted to have like the driving assist and stuff to make it easier for you, it would come with a penalty of like XP and the money that you would actually get out of all the races. So it did feel like, okay, well, if I want just like a more casual experience, well, I'm not walking away with as many rewards, but here it does feel like, okay, I can tailor it to be a little more difficult if I want that challenge or what have you, and just walk away with the same experience. You even talked about it yourself, like going into the garage and tweaking all the little, brake pads and all that. I've never cared about that. I'm not a car guy, so I just love going into the garage, pressing auto,
I'm
and
the
just
same way
walking
as
away
well.
after that.
I'm the same
Like,
way
this-
as well.
You tell me what I want.
I know the number higher means good. I'm like, all right, bigger number. All right, I'm good with that. Honestly, that's what it is. But like, no,
Exactly. And I think
really
that,
good.
again, just goes towards like the fun of it, right? Like is just the fact that you can go in, do whatever interests you the most, hit the tracks again, get out there with your friends. If you're playing multiplayer, if you're playing just campaign, you're just in for like an easy, like cruise control kind of vibe, or you can go for something super competitive as well. And I love the fact that it kind of spans that whole thing. Also, getting rid of microtransactions off the hop, I love that as well, because motorsport almost started leaning way to collect-a-thon, grab all the cars, make sure you buy this, buy all the costumes, all that. I love just getting in there, just it being a racing sim. And it's not being like, oh, we want to nickel and dime you every so often. Like, so the current game that it is right now, I really love it. I love breaking out the driving wheel, getting that like sim fashion in there, and just it's a lot of fun. Kudos to Turn 10 and the added depth of the weather as well. The weather the time of day just really impacts how you drive, how you're steering, everything. It's really impressive.
Yeah, including like one minor complaint I had in regards to the accessibility. Like, again, I'd say it's a 5 out of 5. It's amazing, but there was like something that only could happen because of the detail that Turn 10 put into this. So obviously, with the way that it's like designed, like they have like the sun can basically has like many different reflections and stuff like that. It's a lot of really good environmental lighting, but it kind of affects a little bit of the accessibility because there is a there's a racing line on the track that kind of helps you, figure out how to be able to best drive the track, but then also kind of give you a little bit of a visual of like when it's best to brake and then accelerate. But because of the sun reflecting off the track, the racing line kind of disappears because it kind of gets too bright, and it's just and then you're trying to drive like, wait, which way am I supposed to go? What, am I supposed to brake here? And so it's one of those like you can only get that because it's like of the detail that is in this game, and it's like one of those like you can't plan for that for accessibility, so it's fine.
Yeah. And like I remember,
I totally agree with you there. No, please go ahead, Mars.
Oh no! All I was gonna say is that at one point the sun hit the car in the right spot, and it created like a really hot like sunspot. And I was like, "What's blinding me? What's blinding me there?" But like when that will happen in real life with a car, if it's so shiny, depending on the material of it, it'll just reflect off the light. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And like it kind of like maybe had to like swerve around a little bit, but like just like this details of that, I was like, "Wow, this is really impressive." But
so I would ask you guys then, do you like something like that, or do you think at a certain point like it should still be a video game? Like because is something like that like almost impeding on the actual gameplay? Like, is it like starting to get to the point where it's like, I would like to see the lines. I need to know.
I mean, for me, I think the line is a great addition, but I mean, you can turn that off. So it's not, it is something that if you want that real true sim experience and turn off the entire HUD, you can totally do that. And just, like put your view in behind the wheel and you're good to go. For me, I'm like, nah, give me all the HUD stuff. My camera's behind the car. I don't want to be in that cockpit because,
no,
it's
I like
scary.
to see my car are when I'm driving too. Like
Exactly.
For me,
Yeah. So
I don't know. For me, it's I love like these Forza games in terms of like how they look. You know, especially after what you guys are saying here too. Like they're beautiful games. There's really no possible way you could ever dispute that. But
Sure.
I was a big fan of something like Need for Speed Unbound. You know, just I like the more arcadey racing games. So like racing sims are really cool, and I have like a ton of respect for people who like are super into that and can also like play them to an extent where it's like professionally. But for me, it's just like I don't know, Forza. It's just not my forte. You know, it's like it's not something that I see myself like really sinking my teeth into. Like I'll play it for a couple of hours, I'll admire it, I'll appreciate it for what it is, but it's not like the type of game where I'm like, you know, I need to jump back in. You know, I need to like keep playing. My favorite racing game of all time is Split Second. I don't know if anyone's ever played that. Incredible racing game.
It's funny
like,
you mention that because you will see banners of Split Second while you're driving.
Really?
Yeah, while you're driving, you'll see like banners of Split Second on the side and everything.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, like, I love that game. They're like super dependent on like the environment, doing really cool like action set pieces in the middle of your race, stuff like that. I'm a little more interested in, but yeah, I just wanted to ask just to see like what everyone thought regarding things like the sun being a little intense to the point where it almost feels too real.
Too real.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's like like I don't mind it because this is like I said in my review, like this is the closest I'll ever be able to get to actually, you know, going into a race car and driving.
True.
So I'm okay with with sort of suspending the belief a little bit.
Okay.
But I think it like again, it's like. If it doesn't work for you again, like I think it's even better than technically than driving in real life because hey, the sun can affect you anywhere really when you're driving. So I mean, it just if people want that realism, then by all means go for it. But
there you go.
Yeah.
I will say for the fact that you have options to that either help you drive out or you could dial down certain features if you wanted to as well. So I feel like you kind of get somewhat best of both worlds. Like you don't have any NOS to like boost yourself and like do loops and everything like that. But like I feel like if you just want to like I just want to race, you could like scale up and scale down certain features that will help you kind of get best of both worlds in a vibe. So that's
true.
I would say like cause I think that's where the excitement is coming from me. I'm like, wow, I want to go back and do another race and everything, or I want to get like the best time once again. And like there's also have like certain features of like the whole risk and reward where even though I had like the best time like for the practice round, I could put myself in the back to get a bigger bonus if I wanted to like challenge myself that way as well. So there's a lot of cool features to like, oh, let me just challenge myself to do this and bring the fun out of that way as well. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Respect it.
yeah. So I mean pick it up then. They have to get it now.
Oh, okay. That's it. I'm locked in.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you can try it on Game Pass because that's the beauty of Game Pass. Once again,
Hey,
so,
there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Steve. Sorry, Steve. Do you have anything else, Steve V? Or
No, not really. Yeah, I just think for people who might be a little like thrown off by Sims and hardcore sim racers, just give it a go. I think this one is very approachable, especially in comparison to Gran Turismo or previous motorsport games. Just try it out. I think it does a great onboarding experience through the Builders Cup, like that little tutorial section before it kind of opens everything up. But give it a shot. Why not?
yeah. And Sammy, what about yourself? Compared to my driving, are you going to try this one out yourself?
Listen, you're a good driver, so I think
I brought you home, so you know.
Yep. And listen, I didn't have to drive, so that was all good for me. But I'm actually excited to try. I'm probably gonna like let the game baby me a bit. But I'm excited that it gives me that option, and I just want to drive fast cars, and I'm too poor to do that in real life. So this is a great way to do that.
And you don't feel bad for hitting other cars with this game because there's
Exactly.
no insurance. You have to worry
My
about
insurance
gas.
won't go up.
You're good. You're set. You know. All right. Well, we're talking about road trips. Sammy, myself, and Steve V took a trip down to Montreal. Visited Montreal Studios, Ubisoft Studios. Huge thanks for them for inviting us to check out the launch event for Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is now available today. I was playing some today. Sammy will be playing it soon. Steve already completed the game. So, Steve V, tell us a little bit about your experience. You also wrote up a review on it as well. But why don't you give us a little teaser here?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm really high on this game. I've been dying for something that kind of goes back to the roots of Assassin's Creed. I know after Valhalla, I was just completely tapped out of this franchise. I don't know if I could do another like 200-hour game. It was just a lot, and especially because Assassin's Creed Valhalla set up such an interesting story, especially with Bassam. It was almost a shame that it was so bloated with all this like extra content. I mean, Sammy, you're going through it right now. I'm sure you would have loved it if it was shaved off about 20 hours or so.
Yep.
But no, I think for going back to the roots of this franchise, prioritizing stealth and kind of wrapping it all in this interesting setting of Baghdad is perfect. This is exactly right up my alley. I played it across, I think, like 4 nights and wrapped up rolled credits in about 20 hours. And that was perfect for me. That's nice. Especially in 2023 when you have like Cyberpunk, you have, all these other games coming out around like the summertime. I was like, I just want to get in, do my work, enjoy the game, and then kind of bounce out and kind of like move on to another game. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with this. The only thing that I will say is that it's a very safe game in terms of like an Assassin's Creed game. I think that going back to the roots, that's really all they did. They didn't go back to the roots but modernize anything. It's very much, okay, I've seen all these mechanics. I've seen essentially all the climbing stuff. Like everything seems like it was pulled from Assassin's Creed 2, and now I'm just playing it again. But it looks beautiful and all that. But I'm really enjoying this game.
Yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting of it right now. Like I was playing it and I'm like, okay, this just seems like it's another, like they just took I wouldn't say a step back. It's just like, hey, we know this work. It is what people want, so let's just do this. Give them a shorter time. I feel like they're just like, let's just put this game out and let people, and like we know this format is gonna work, and they didn't even charge that much for it as well. Like I think like the deluxe is actually the standard price of a game here,
right? It's $50 base, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, is it really? I didn't even realize that was the price.
60 in Canada,
right?
Yeah, 60 in Canada, 70.
Wow, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and like, and I think it's because like they took, like they scaled everything back down and they just have like everything that just works. So I feel, it does feel like a safer Assassin's Creed. I'll definitely agree with that as well. Which, and I like, for me, I do agree. I like the Assassin's Creed franchise and like and everything they're doing. So I'm having a good time with it. But I can see people be like, well, there's nothing really new-ish with it. So.
Yeah, but in a way, it's also like it is kind of new in a certain degree. It's taking the best of what Assassin's Creed has, like from its 15-year history, and modernizing it in a way that it's kind of like almost like a reset in a sense. Because people may be wondering, okay, is this a standalone type game, or do you have to know anything else? Yeah, it's based on a character from Valhalla, but honestly, if you don't know anything about that character, you're okay, because it is technically a prequel. So I've heard, I haven't got to the end as of yet, but I heard the ending, it might be a bit confusing, but it's something that I think it is still approachable to many people. And in a sense, I'm like, as a side note, I kind of like these kind of games where it's not super big. It's not super like there's like the Ubi sort of bloat, as it were, that they've done in the past for a lot of their games. I mean, I'm talking like Far Cry 6 and even Valhalla to a degree, with its very large maps and not really much to do.
Valhalla had 5 maps, by the way. I just wanted to throw that in there. 5 maps.
I just remember like going through, like you're in the, I can't remember where you are, like in the Viking area, like tutorial level.
Like Norway.
Norway, yeah. I thought that was the main map, and then it was just going to be like, okay, we'll go to England at a certain point. But I'm like, the Norway map was probably almost just as big as Odyssey's main map. Yeah, like that's how big it was, and it doubled it, or like quadruple. Yeah. I don't know, whatever the 5.
And then they're like, okay, go to France because someone has a letter for you. You're like, I didn't go to France now, and then there's France
and
map.
Then you go
like,
to Ireland.
Yeah.
Go to Ireland.
There's like what 2 major DLCs that they put up for this thing that like it just even extended even more. So I'm okay, and this is a message to all AAA developers out there. I am okay with smaller quality experiences that on the same kind of like level of like, okay, let's make it like a AA sort of game. It's like a quick, you can make it in 2-3 years. You have a great quality experience, and that's what I want, because I don't need to be able to spend so much money or games as a service, or like spend like so much time in like 80 to 1,000 hours, whatever, how long are games are nowadays. We don't need that. Just give us those quality experiences, and then also you don't have to spend 8 to 10 years working on a sequel for a game. Yep. So
I was just about to make this same exact point, Steve, in that like I was looking at the Metacritic and stuff. I know that from what I was seeing online, people weren't like hyping up Mirage, but a lot of people were saying, similar to what Stevie, what you're saying is like, it's safe. And you know what? For $50, a safe game that takes Assassin's Creed a little back to its roots, that gives us just a good, solid experience, that is my money's worth, you know? Yep. Same with when I look at something like Spider-Man Miles Morales, or even like Uncharted did that whole like $50 AA type thing, Lost Legacy. So like, I totally agree. I will absolutely take more $50 games that are like a AA with closer to a AAA budget, and then we get them in a shorter amount of time and still a great quality product. Like I've been saying for so long, I would have happily paid $60 for Spider-Man Miles Morales. The fact that it's $50 is a steal. And we got to get it so much sooner than we probably would have if they were going to try and do all the things that they're adding into Spider-Man 2 with like the expanded open world and this and that. If they were to try and do that into Miles Morales, we would have had to wait so long to get to this point. So the fact that they made it a nice, contained, like condensed story, that like 8 to 10 hour experience, I'm super down for that. And I'll take as much of that as possible if it means we can get more games in a shorter amount of time.
Exactly. And sure, like I would love to, like, I of course, when we want to play those games that are like 80-ish hours,
time and a place,
time and a place, 1,000%. I think we've had a little bit too many of those this year, and it's hard to be able to like play. I played every single major game that's kind of come out this year, but have I completed any of them? No, because I haven't had time to do it. But I've been enjoying Mirage enough that I can definitely pick this up and just be like, for what is like between 15 and 17 hours to be able to complete. Like that's just enough time that I can get in, get exactly what I want, get out, and I would have enjoyed that experience. And having that, as you said, like on a AAA budget, but made in sort of like the leanness of a AA game, I'm all for that too.
Yep.
I totally
It's
agree.
definitely, it's been an interesting experience for me because I got into the franchise at Valhalla. So for me, going into Mirage, well, I have like both positive and negative kind of gripes with it. The positive is I get to like now go back and be like, oh, this is what people felt when they were playing with like a Connor or an Ezio. And if I really like this, it'll entice me to go back and replay those games.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
But then the gripe is because Valhalla, the fighting style for me, I think that's the most interesting difference because like I could kind of hack and slash, not have to worry about it and like get away with it. For the brief periods that I have played of Mirage so far, the notoriety system can be very brutal. So now it's like changing the complete style of how I play Assassin's Creed. So that'll be it'll be interesting. I just got to get used to it.
I know I was the same way too, because like I don't like in those kind of games where you have like a notoriety, like whether it's GTA or Red Dead.
Yeah, I was like, is this GTA?
No, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want the cops chasing me. I don't want guards chasing me. Like, just leave me alone, and that's fine. But then after completing one mission that I did all of it stealth, now I took out some folks, but whatever. It's still up the notoriety to the point where I'm like, at any given moment, any guard could just, or anybody could just see me and be like, just like there he is. And I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, I can't get away from here. So like, it's yes, I'm same as you. I mean,
brutal.
It's definitely a different sort of style. It really wants to push you into stealth mode, which I'm all for. I mean, I'm still waiting. Please, for the love of Ubi gods, please give me a Splinter Cell sometime soon, because I really, really want another stealth.
One of these days, Steve. One of these days.
Yeah. Ubi Toronto. We're 20 minutes away from your studio. Just let me see it. Just let me see it. Anyway, but,
let me in.
Let me. It's a crazy guy at our door again.
But Sammy, like, you bring a good point. Like my sort of main foray, my main entry into Assassin's Creed was Origins. So with that sort of like, that was the beginning of that larger map and like kind of more of an RPG action-based kind of combat mechanics. And I personally loved it. Like Origins is probably my favorite of the entire series. And I mean, I tried to play Black Flag. I tried to play 3. I think both of them I couldn't be able to get really past it, really anything. I think probably the most I played was 3, which maybe I got like 60% through the game and I just couldn't finish it. But it's like, I really think that, Mirage is the best of everything that AC has to offer.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, Sam, that like because in Valhalla you just feel like an unstoppable force. Like if you want to kick a guy off a mountain, you do that, and like you just barge into someone and you slash their head off and everything. Yes, they are pushing you more to like stealth in this game, but you can still commit a lot of chaos. And like I mean, this whole Baghdad is like hopefully I don't get in trouble with this, but like they're a whole city of snitches because people will be like, oh, that's the guy right there who committed that crime, and like people are heckling you and like chasing you down, and then more guards will show up and everything. I did feel the same way as like you're in a mission and like you have to take people down, but like your thing is still going up. I'm like, well, if my thing is going up anyway, I'm the bad guy for now. I'll just rip down some posters and everything. Yeah. I love the fact people are like, there he is. That's the guy off the poster and everything. Or if you pickpocket someone and then like literally like a minute or two later, like, oh my God, my wallet's gone. And like, they're calling for guards and everything. I find that so like, it's really, really cool, like a really cool feature. And I don't mind the whole like I guess the wanting star options and everything, so you can still do some chaos with it. It's not as far like scaled back as it's that they're making it seem that you have to be really stealthy. I'm not the stealthiest person ever. I'm a big guy. I will walk into things. I have no problem with that. Like I ain't gonna be stealthy in a video game. I want the chaos. I'm gonna bring the chaos regardless, and you can still do that. So
cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm really bad at stealth games too. Like anytime I play a game that even has like a stealth encounter, I'm like, oh God, I hope I can go into this like guns a-blazing.
But you're Spider-Man. What do you mean?
But like, I am glad that even though you're saying they didn't bring it all the way back to that, I am glad that there is still that element of stealth in this new Assassin's Creed because it's called Assassin's Creed. Like, you know, like
I want to take some people down.
Come on. I would like to do the assassinating part, you know? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking out Mirage. From the sounds of it, even though this doesn't seem like it's Game of the Year material or anything like that, this looks like a good time. And for $50, or I guess $60 here in Canada, can't go wrong. Really.
Yeah, and I was going to add that I love the fact you brought up Miles Morales, because Miles Morales was kind of like, I guess you could say it's like the bridge game between 1 and 2. Like it's like here's a
it was like the
this.
Arkham Origins for Spider-Man. Yeah.
And so I don't know, I'm getting vibes that this one could be the bridge game for whatever they're having planned next as well.
True.
Yeah, which I think is what Red. I think is the next big one.
Is that the one in feudal Japan?
I think it is. Yeah.
I'm so ready for that. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like that is long overdue for them to use that setting for an Assassin's Creed game. Like, I'm surprised they didn't get on that sooner. You know.
I mean, it sucks that essentially Ghost of Tsushima kind of came out before they decided to do
and it's
Japan,
almost certainly going to be better. But
because Ghost is essentially it's Assassin's Creed in Japan, like literally is that. So like it has some big some big shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill. Yeah, Ghost is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's in my top 3. And so I mean, I'm looking forward to what they're going to try to do here with this Assassin's Creed game, and I'll try not to put it on a pedestal and just take it for what it is, because that setting is just like there's so much potential there. So I'm intrigued, to say the least. And
I guess I also want to give some notice for during the tour we had the historian of Raphael Wayland was his name, I believe.
Wayland, yeah.
And he put he studied like Baghdad and then he put like a lot of details on it, and like it shows in the whole city of like how the city could look, or like obviously it could like no one knew how Baghdad really truly looked because there's no like pictures or anything like that, but the level of detail and the richness of the city, it definitely shows in there. I'm like, wow, this city's popping. Like there's a lot of people like talking and everything. Like it was like heavily like it felt like you were actually in a city. It wasn't just like a few NPCs. Like people are singing along the side. I actually felt bad for pickpocketing them. I'm not gonna lie that sometimes, but I'm like, dude, I need money too, man. And I'm the main.
Money and resources.
I'm the main character. I'm the main character. I need it more than you right now. You will generate it back somehow. With
It's not, hey, it's not. Let's not like we were salary in this Assassins,
Exactly.
Brotherhood of Hidden Ones.
exactly. So yeah, no, it's definitely a game to check out, and hopefully people don't skip over it and it gets lost in the mix of other things.
Or you know what? Really buy it when it comes out on iPhone 15 Pro next year.
That's iPhones, man. Oh my god. You know, iPhones don't have any breathing room, so like they're kind of toning down the battery with firmware updates a little bit. So a lot of phones are overheating a little bit. They might have that Samsung problem where you weren't allowed to bring it on planes and everything. That's another hot mess. All right, so we're gonna move on to the 3DS and Wii U. Online play is finally done. I thought they got rid of this a while ago. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I'm actually
I read this and I was like, wait, what? They were still online?
But apparently I think that was the Wii online play, and DS that was stopping. So now it's the 3DS and Wii U, which I mean, I'm not surprised. It's been 7 years now.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, right? I guess so.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move on, folks. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add to that, but I think that's just to show that Switch 2. We're getting closer and closer to the Switch 2.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I hope so. I really hope so.
The rumors are all pointing to next year, and at that point, if there's a Switch 2, the Wii U, 3DS, that's like 2 console generations behind. Like it's at a certain point, like these things, they've had a good run. Like people have had their time to enjoy it. And I'm sure there's a very, very small fraction of people that are still playing online with certain things.
Yeah.
But like, let's them's the breaks. It was going to happen eventually, and especially on the horizon of a brand new console, I imagine that they gotta allocate some funds, some resources to that, right? Or at least to make sure they maintain the Switch.
Yep.
Now that the Switch 2 is coming out,
You gotta give
right?
Sakurai a bigger budget, so you gotta cut off some stuff for the upcoming Smash game.
Come on,
he needs to get more Sephiroth type of characters in the next Smash.
Yes.
Or maybe bring them back for the a Smash Ultimate Deluxe or game. I don't know. So
if they did something to the extent of what they did for Mario Kart 8, but for Smash, like that could be really cool. Like a one last big hurrah for the game. That could be pretty sweet.
The game's called Ultimate. Like you can't go beyond. it's like a game is Affinity Plus. You're like, it's a game Infinity. Like but plus what?
Listen, as someone who plays fighting games, if Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat games in the past have taught me anything, it's that there's always
Deluxe
there's always one more variation of the title they can come up with. Just watch them.
Exactly. X. Oh no, it's cross. So that means it's more. I'm like, oh, okay. Kibbles, have you heard of Klopp before?
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, they're very famous. You ever heard of? The group Klopp. There's no music band. Apparently, they are the latest.
Are we gonna get clopped?
Yeah, we're gonna get clopped because Sony Interactive
sounds like a Korean pop band. I'm just saying.
Because Sony got clopped because apparently 6,800 current and former employees had their personal information exposed by the ransom group Klopp. So
that's why Jim Ryan left.
Jim's like, I'm out.
Not me.
What
was the other group's name that had like the files?
Ransom.cv or something like that.
Yeah. So close your doors, Sony. Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand.
Seriously,
what's happening?
Somebody turn on
was there like
authentication, man.
Was there like a secret? Was there like a secret competition on the dark web to see who could hack Sony first? Like, we're like 2 groups trying to be able to like compete and then hack Sony.
And then the 2 groups decided amongst each other. The 2 groups decided amongst each other, like, who could have the worst hacker name? Like, this group was like, we're going for a ransomware. And
well, you know what? If you're
we're the Klops,
If you're on the dark web, I mean, you're not really known for your creativity. So I guess so.
I guess so. We're playing with fire a little bit.
We are a little bit. Just dangerously close. Anyway, so that hack, that's sad. personal information. Yeah, no, that's not great.
I'm gonna get clopped.
My screen starts glitching. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get
We're gonna get clopped. This podcast is gonna get clopped.
No.
Great.
Just see two hands going like this and that towards you. Like,
So our address is we're in Toronto. Our phone number.
I'm in the States. What are you talking about? Don't even come to touch
Listen,
Canada.
as someone who has had all
wearing
the
a
personal
Maple Leafs
information,
Listen,
God.
they are an
True.
international known team. It's fine. I'll take this off right now. Is that what you want?
We all know the U.S. isn't into hockey. Come on.
I'm going to Iceland. Forget it. Were you gonna say
Sorry,
Sammy?
Sam,
I'm
you were
sorry.
saying?
I mean, honestly, I was going to say something. It's probably better I don't say it just so it doesn't happen again. So never mind. We're going to move on.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And
All
that
right.
made me think. It made me double think what I was going to say. So thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Fair enough.
No problem at all. Oh my god! But hopefully Sony can get things resolved here. They didn't say. I mean, besides I guess employee information and everything. Because last time was the Spider-Man one part of it? Last the snippet or something? Or I don't remember.
No, I don't think that was. I think that was just accidentally aired on
Right.
TV because we know now that was like a TV spot.
Okay.
And so from my understanding, or I don't know, I don't really know the going ons, but it looked like it was probably just accidentally aired in a foreign country. And
Well, the other thing to note about this one is that it's part of like a much larger hacking spree where I think that they infiltrated a whole bunch of different companies. It just so happens that Sony was like one of
okay.
them. This clop
and
was
this was
like
specifically targeting the employees.
I guess I don't know if it was specifically targeting employees versus maybe it was just that's what they got their hands
That's
on.
what the cloppers are up to.
That's
yeah.
what they're doing. But yeah, if you take a look at like all the different companies that they kind of targeted, it wasn't just like, oh, let's go after a video game company. I think that they were specifically going after like high profile companies trying to get as much as information as they could out of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of just weird that out of all of them, everyone's kind of targeting, oh yeah, Sony, and then kind of making it like a video game story where it is a much larger thing I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I swear, if this turns into a movie in 10 years' time, I'm gonna seriously
they're writing the
question a lot of Hollywood.
Oh, right
They're
now
writing
it's
the scripts
happening.
at this current moment.
Oh no, they're using AI to write the scripts. That's
You're
probably
right.
what it was.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
far,
It's going to be the next Mr. Robot season.
All of our faces are being scanned. We're going to be extras in the movie through the
it's
AI.
fine. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what?
Shout outs to Hollywood.
I would
for
love
just-
a cameo, just us talking about it. Oh, get clopped. Like that'd be sick in that movie. Hey, let's put that
That
way.
day when you know what
Let's
we
go.
made it.
Yeah, so we made it.
We're taking the pitch to Hollywood. Everybody, come on, book your
That
tickets.
GameStop stock.
Let's go.
That's a movie right now, and I was just
That
I'm
might-
sure
yeah,
I was
yeah.
a couple
Good,
years
good.
ago.
Based on the trailer, I gotta want to see it.
Yeah.
That was just a couple of years ago, so you might be right. Something's coming. So
Seriously, they got to work quick
It was
on
really
that
fast.
story, man.
yeah.
And the cast that they got is actually pretty decent too.
No, it is. And I mean, I heard out of TIFF that it was a pretty good movie as well. So
Yeah, I heard the
I'm,
same,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it
yeah,
out.
me too.
Yeah.
T. Sam, you should have saw that instead of The Exorcist. You know?
Oh,
Just saying,
man.
you know, just-
I heard
yeah,
do well.
Ooh, boy.
yeah, that's I'm gonna leave that one out.
Yep.
This isn't a movie podcast. This is a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're a different group, right? Yeah.
Right.
Sammy, why don't you talk about the Spider-Man 2 features that came on? Then you guys can just
yes.
feast at it. Feast at
Ah,
after that.
yes.
Yeah.
So basically, it was just highlighting. We got the spot, so you got like a little bit of what that leaked footage was, and like it extended a little bit more. And then it was just more about like what you're gonna get on the PS5. So it's like the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, ultra high speed SSD. So it's just like all the tech goodies. That's just like, yeah, you
Right.
want to play this on PS5, buy the console, but also buy Spider-Man 2. It was just like, it felt very much like that. But obviously, if you do want to buy Spider-Man 2, you got to have the PS5.
I
So
believe
these are the reasons
that's
why.
right.
I also believe they're coming out with a bundle as well, right? With this game, I think for the holiday season.
Yeah, so
which
they're
is a very
coming.
smart
They're coming
move.
out with just a normal PlayStation 5 bundle that comes with Spider-Man 2. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Sounds
So,
good.
For all
like,
the
you can
people
get-
who missed
there's
the cool
obviously-
one.
exactly. They had the limited edition console. I don't know if they'll restock on that. I mean, I wouldn't lose hope
But you can
that
buy
they
plates,
won't
though.
restock. The
No,
plates
plates have
actually
been
no,
sold out.
which
Oh,
was
really?
really surprising to me. I honestly thought for sure the controller was going to be the hot commodity, but those plates are like gone anywhere you look. I was trying to grab on the day that they dropped, I was trying to grab at least 2 pairs so I can give one away. And I got lucky to even get one for myself, man. Like that was an intense race online. But the controllers,
That's all I wanted was the plates, and I couldn't even get one.
See, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
The controller, like a couple of weeks back, like long after they'd gone live for pre-order and everything, I just went to a GameStop to just walk in, whatever, and the controller was still there, like available, and they were like, yeah, we have a bunch still. Like at a certain point, I'd imagine it's just gonna go into the back until somebody potentially asks for it, which is, again, that's crazy to me. I mean, I guess a lot of people like to customize their consoles, and they wanted to see those nice plates. They're cool. Like it's sitting in front of me right now. It's nice. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you had to choose between the two, like if you only had the money for one, the controller is the better of the two, because you're looking at your controller constantly, like your console, sometimes it can be tucked away, sometimes it's not in a spot where you're seeing the whole thing, right? So
yeah, my setup a little bit more like in this. It's got an aesthetic right now because I got that Starfield Xbox wrap for the Series X, and because I also have the white OLED Switch, I was like, well, I got to put the white covers back on the PS5 because they're both sitting beside each other, and just it looks good. And so I'm like, if I put the Spider-Man thing on, I'll probably, it's probably a good thing that I didn't get because it would have ruined my aesthetic. So there, that's the reason why I'm sticking with
copium, yeah.
I'm not upset at all. Just saying, my birthday's coming up. So then, what? No,
it's okay. Don't worry. I'll message Klopp. They'll find a way.
Okay, great. Yeah. See, I knew Klopp would come in handy. Klopp's great. We love Klopp here.
Something, Steve. Don't worry.
I hope there's some Klopp DLC in Spider-Man 2. Revenge of the Klopp. So. Spider-Man 2 will when this airs will be officially 2 weeks away, which is mind-boggling to me. Like,
that's
Venom trailer,
it's insane.
Like Venom looks massive. Like they weren't joking about Venom size. I'm not saying right now. Like this is manhandling Peter. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
I think crazy. The cool thing about that trailer, because I mean, you know me, like I'm like, I don't want to see any more trailers. Like it's okay, I'm done or whatever. But I did see that one. Yeah. And only because they said it was they partnered up with Blur Studios to be able to make it. And Blur Studios, if you don't know, that's like we're forgetting his last name. Is it Tim Miller or Tim Miller? The director of Deadpool.
The Deadpool thing.
That he has had a visual effects studio like going back, like he used to make video game cinematics for
DC Universe Online,
DC Universe, World of Warcraft, or Warcraft back in the day.
Coolest cinematics ever, man.
So oh my god,
Superman, and he's at the sun just soaking it in. Oh my god,
they got a pedigree for making cool looking video game cinematics. So I had to watch it because of that, and like, they delivered on that one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I love the voiceover too. It's so great.
It's so good. And honestly, like I love, for me, like you were saying, Marcel, too, just like Venom is huge. And that's exactly how it should be. And I think what I really, really love about the game in general, just based on the marketing and stuff, is they're really going back to like, I feel like the public's perception of Venom has kind of been warped by those movies. In that, like, they think now he is the lethal protector. They think that is just Venom. Like, he is an anti-hero. And that's been the case. It's happened in the comics. But Venom is a Spider-Man villain, His whole thing, the entire, like, point Venom exists is to kill Spider-Man, which is why it's ridiculous in the first place to do a Venom movie without any notion of Spider-Man even existing. We're not the movie podcast, so that's a debate for another time. Yeah. But I really love, I mean, just from that TV spot, like he's freaking massive, man.
It was perfect. Wild. It was wild.
The design is perfect. The dialogue, like the line delivery, all that stuff, really, really well done. Like good stuff there, and it just excites me that they're seemingly making this like as much Miles' story as it is Peter. Like this is not just like Miles got to take a back seat now as Peter's, at the forefront. Like it's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
two Spider-Man.
You got two Spider-Man.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
I just,
that's
I
great.
think I just love them. Like I got goosebumps in that trailer when basically like they both said together, "I am Spider-Man." I'm like,
So good.
yes,
So good. Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
Really, really good. You know, but I think they need to change the title to Spider-Man. Just saying, you know. So come on.
No, I'm Spider-Man.
We are one.
We are Spider-Men. All right. Steve,
How do you pronounce that hyphen?
exactly.
Spider-Man.
I know Steve has to leave out, but we're pretty much done with the show. But I'll let Steve take it away before I know you had to leave out early. What do you got going on for, I guess, long weekend now? Happy Thanksgiving.
I mean, I'm gonna be enjoying Thanksgiving. Absolutely, gonna be eating some good food, but also gonna be spending some time with Spider-Man 2. Gonna be finishing that up for review. Can't wait to release that in a little bit, like almost like a week and a half. I can't wait to get that out there. But yeah, I know, right? Otherwise, yeah, that's about it. But you guys can follow me across the internet at svikvari.
There you go. Caboose?
Yeah. You can find me youtube.com, YouTube/Caboose, Twitter and Instagram at CabooseEK. And then of course, I got Spider-Man 2. You will see my review on October 16th. So keep an eye out for that. I mean, both of our Steves as well will be talking about it on that day too. So you can watch out for some reviews and hear what we have to think about this game.
Hell yeah. I'm very excited for that. Sammy, I know Valhalla is right around the corner for you. You're almost done. So what else you got?
Yep. So if you're like me and have not finished that game but want to watch it before you finish Mirage, I'll be streaming that next week and then into playing Mirage on twitch.tv/PetusPants. Other than that, I'm doing a couple events for the rest of the week. Have to drive for 14 hours this weekend before Thanksgiving. And yeah, I'll be very tired, but streaming next week.
Just did a road trip. All right.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Steve Saylor, how about you, man?
Yeah, you can be able to. I've got some cool videos up on my YouTube, youtube.com/@SteveSaylor, and I've got some stuff in the works for my Patreon that'll be coming up pretty soon. Patreon.com/SteveSaylor, and I've got an interesting article that I'm currently writing for it that I'm curious to kind of get people's thoughts on. It's gonna be a little spicy.
All right.
Okay.
Why is it spicy? Sorry, I'm in a mood today.
Listen, it's been a long week. We're all we're all loopy right now. That's for sure. For me, I'm playing some Mirage. I'm gonna dive back in to some more Forza as well, and just trying to chop away at my backlog. It's getting bad. It's really, really bad. So try to finish at least a game or two this Thanksgiving weekend. I'm just gonna avoid the family. So I guess I don't. Sorry, I can't.
I totally
talk, Mom
forgot
and
it's
Dad.
Thanksgiving this weekend.
There you
I
go.
know. I was the same thing too.
You know what I'm doing tonight, actually, though? I know it's not the movie podcast, but I'm watching
You got it.
Loki. I'm ready for
yeah.
it.
Oh, that's right. It comes out at what, 9 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
today?
There you go.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready
Thank
for that.
you, Disney Plus, for actually putting it out at a decent time and not
Finally.
midnight
Yeah.
or 3 a.m.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, there you go. Give us a sponsorship, Disney Plus, and
Yeah, right. I'll take a free Disney
We're gonna
Disney
get
Plus.
sued
Come
by a
on.
movie podcast.
Hey, if the movie podcast guys get
Shane
to do gaming
Daniels will be like,
stuff, we
"Stop."
get to do movie stuff. All right,
They were at
I
our
love that we're
event. We
starting
get the
beef with a movie
Yeah,
right
podcast.
now.
This is great.
But what is it?
Oh, that's going to be the best cinematic crossover ever. I'm just letting you know right now.
Yeah.
Avengers! Oh, wait, crap. Now it's a movie thing. Oh, no, it's a video game thing there, too. Never mind.
Oh my
But
god.
actually, that game's gone now, which is sad. Anyway,
Yeah, true.
Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.